We're looking at this Be Quiet case that's got plenty of cooling. It supports up to 8 140mm fans. It even supports a 420mm radiator if you want to as well, either on the top or the front. And on top of that, it looks pretty cool as well. Today we dive into an in-depth review of the Shadowbase 800 series from Be Quiet. Offering three intriguing models, the FX model, which has got RGB down the front as well as RGB fans, the DX model, which has just got the RGB down the front with traditional fans, and a standard version which doesn't have any RGB effects at all. There are also a couple of colour options as well, depending on the model you go for. So let's have a look at the box. So we're greeted with a minimalist packaging aesthetic, a simple brown box detailed with black text and images. A QR code adorns the box, steering you directly to its online product page for an expansive spec overview and additional details, providing a seamless unboxing experience. Upon opening the box, we find the case shrouded in a single-use plastic bag, snugly fitted between two polystyrene protective ends. A detailed user manual accompanies the case, although a QR code alternative might be a bit greener and more contemporary option, especially in 2023. With dimensions set at 522mm by 247 by 552 and weighing in at 12.3 kilograms, the Shadowbase 800 boasts a solid build. The construction utilises steel for the internal frame and PSU shroud, while plastic is implemented in the cable cover, PSU shroud air duct, the front panel, I/O and feet. A glimpse through the 4mm thick glass side panel reveals the internal majesty, while the opposite steel panel incorporates sound dampening to ensure that tranquil operation Be Quiet is renowned for. Accessibility is a breeze, with side panels effortlessly removed via thumb screws on the back. The front panel emanates a clean, modern aesthetic, offering plentiful ventilation and RGB lighting tracing the edges. A gentle pull from the bottom frees the panel, revealing the fine mesh and removable dust filter, promising a dust-minimal environment for your components. The pre-installed 140mm pure wing-free fan stands guard, ready to channel fresh air into the system. The top-angled I/O panel, situated conveniently at the front, features a tactile RGB button, separate 3.5mm headphone and microphone jacks, a USB 3.2 Type-C port, and two 3.2 Type-A ports adjacent to the power button. Moving to the top of the case, you have a magnetic removable dust filter that spans across, maintaining a clean overhead environment for your components. On the rear, you also have another 140mm pure wing-free fan, just like the one on the front and the top of the case, which you can move to whatever positions you wish. You've also got 7 PCI slots on the back of the case, which can be adapted for a vertical GPU mount if you wish. Bear in mind, you will need to get the fittings like the PCIe extension cable and so forth, and possibly a bracket. Inside the case, you have a full-length PSU shroud, and this covers up the whole PSU area. You will not be able to see your PSU through any windows or any form. So if you've got a top-end one, you can't show it off, but if you've got a bottom-end one or a really bad power supply, you can hide it away if needed. On the PSU shroud towards the front of the case, you have some fan ducting, so you can basically put a fan at the bottom of the case. It blows air up into the ducting on the PSU shroud, and then it blows the air directly into your GPU, depending on your configuration. Otherwise, you could fit 3 140mm on the front, 3 140s on the top, 140 on the back, as well as that 140 on the bottom if you wished to blow air up into the GPU using the ducting. Just bear in mind the base model of this case, as well as the DX model, does not come with any fan or RGB hub, which basically means if you want to connect lots of fans and RGB to your system, you need to make sure you've either got the connections on your motherboard or buy an aftermarket hub. The PSU area provides approximately 490mm of space, accommodating pretty much any power supply you want on the market. But bear in mind, if you add in the additional storage options, and again, when I say additional, you have to buy separate cages to fit traditional hard drives in, then that would reduce that area size. The case offers mounting options for either 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch drives on a bracket what goes on the back side of the motherboard just behind where the CPU would be. You have also got 2 additional slots on the side for 2.5-inch drives, which you can showcase from the glass side of the case, or you can conceal the storage devices depending on your preference. Cable management options are robust, featuring multiple cutouts and a sizable bracket to conceal and organise cables, which can be adjusted into one of 2 positions. Although you have those offerings, the back side of the case is pretty straightforward, with no inclusion of cable channels or doors. Also, the vertical mounting options for the GPU, while innovative, demands consideration for a GPU support and limited additional PCIe card installations due to proximity, and also potential sagging issues for the graphics card because there is no bracket to hold the GPU up. Now down to cooling and airflow. Now you'll see a lot of places review these and test cases against each other to see which has got the best cooling. This is really hard to do in reality, especially with a case where they ideally want you to add more fans in, because it depends on the fans you're adding in, the speeds the fans are running. Some have a higher airflow than others. On top of that, this case supports up to 8 fans. Doesn't necessarily mean you need 8 fans. Also depends on the components you're using as well, and the configuration of exactly how you've got everything set up. All I can say is it's a mesh case on the front and top, and obviously you've got plenty of airflow on the bottom and the back as well. In all reality, you shouldn't have a problem if you're sticking a top-end i9 processor and something like a GeForce 4090 in there. There was no cooling issues at all. So let's wrap up the review. The Be Quiet Shadowbase 800 series, with its distinctive models, establishes a solid choice for PC enthusiasts who want to prioritize a blend of tranquility, functionality, and aesthetics flexibility. Whether it's for gaming, content creation, or professional use, the Case series stands ready to encapsulate your PC build with grace and quiet power.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and know I did. Why not check out one of our other videos by clicking this box up here, or this one just down here. Otherwise, you can give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment below, let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time.